Good morning, good evening, and good afternoon, and welcome everybody back to our solo character challenge run with the monk. Let me just restart the timer here. So, to briefly explain what is happening here, or well, what we started last time. So, first of all, we are currently in the pyramid. The monk has a accessory equipped, the guard ring, that gives him automatic regeneration in the fight. I put him into the last character slot because that guarantees a regeneration tick at the very beginning of battle every time. And aside from that, I have a controller which I use the rubber band in order to hold down the up and the A button. And all you need to do is just hold the up and A button down in order to continuously grind here, basically forever, or well, until you stop it obviously. So, this has been going on for approximately the last 2 days. And as a heads up, basically now our monk here is kind of super powered. Now, I have 2 separate save files. One is for where the monk still has the normal level that we kind of ended up last time. And right now, we're also going to make a save file here where the monk is pretty highly leveled. I don't know what level the monk has. It is a bit of a slower grind than the berserker, but well, we'll see in just a moment. Right now, I still have my one-handed controller plugged in with the rubber band because holding down buttons on the one-hand controller seems easier than the regular one, so I need to plug it over. So give me just a moment. Alrighty, and the fascinating thing is, with a monk, you don't even need to worry about, well, accidentally controller not working anymore, because he will likely counterattack enemies well into submission anyways. Alrighty, so, each one of these encounters was between like 1,500 to a bit more than 2,000 experience, so not the best. However, here we are leveled 96 as our monk. We have mastered the chop class, well, a while ago. We also have probably maximum HP without even needing the HP plus 30% thingy at all. And so I'm just gonna equip something else. Gonna grab the running shoes, so we're gonna be faster, keep the bone mail equipped, and well, with this, putting butts back into the lead. And let's go ahead and save, because this game has not been saved since like 2 days, which is, well, a little bit less than ideal, let's put it this way. So, oh, oops, I did not mean to fall here. So as a heads up, today I'm going to finish the solo monk run here with the super powered monk. However, I do plan on going back to this to take the regular leveled monk and finish the game with our, well, regular leveled monk as well, rather than just a super powered one. Today, no, let me back off real quick. Tomorrow, what I'm gonna want to do is, I decided to ask Velhart, who is another Twitch streamer, to, well, let's just casually replay La Mulana 2. Because honestly, that is one of the playthroughs I've really enjoyed, and it's been quite a while, so hopefully I have forgotten a bunch of things along the way, and maybe Velhart too. So the idea is that maybe we can just have a nice casual second playthrough. It is most likely not going to be nearly as lengthy as the first one, but well, we'll see about that. Also, let me get to save here finally. In-game time, let's see. We started the grind at like 11 hours in-game time wise, and now we have 57 hours, well, almost 58 hours in-game time. So that is of course A pretty substantial difference, to say the least. As I said, we have 9,899 HP even without the plus 30% max HP thingy, so that one is mostly pointless at this point. And we're just gonna walk outside now. So yeah, the reason why I want to complete the superpowered monk first is because tomorrow, as mentioned before, I would like to go on that La Mulana 2 adventure, and that's probably going to take a few days, I would guess. And, well, we'll see how that's going to go. I will be continuing from this time, so to speak, with the other normal powered monk as well. I'm not entirely sure what my goal level may be for the other monk. Maybe I'm just going to try and see how high I can level, or how well I can get through the rest of the game without doing the power grind here. But yeah, because I am also starting the stream a bit late, to give anybody who is watching the highlight right now, I've started the stream sometime after 9 PM. I woke up sometime after 7 PM. My sleep schedule is completely whack, and for tomorrow I will want to try and at least fix it to the extent where I'm not gonna be super late, but we'll see how that's going to work. So yeah, we'll see how that's going to go. Also, by the way, in case you're wondering, we actually did make a little bit of money during this grind. We have 4,744,671 gold coins, and there are certain rare drops that the enemies drop in this section as well. Specifically, what they drop is elixirs, specifically the lady that summons other monsters has a 1 in 16 chance to drop an elixir. And also, we have 99 protect potion from the rock slabs, or whatever they are. And we have probably also 99... we have 99 Venom Axes. That's actually interesting, because Venom Axe you only get when the monk misses the attacks against the summoning lady. And then she specifically summons the Bio Soldier, and then you get the 1 in 16 chance to get a Venom Axe, and we have 23 of them. So yeah, that's pretty extreme, let's put it this way. Then again, our level overall is pretty extreme at this point. It's going to be fun to just breeze through the rest of the game, I feel. Also, in case you're curious, we are going to do the raffle today. For the next character shop class, so you can still get your votes in what you would like to see next, and you will be able to enter the raffle for which character we choose, which name for Butts to pick, and whether we pick Butts or Ferris, actually. So those are gonna be things that we will see once we defeat Neo X-Death. And with this level, defeating Neo X-Death is not going to be too terribly difficult, but despite the ridiculously high level, it might still not be easy per se. We'll see. A lot of enemies in the desert here are going to be relatively simple, all things considered. They do give pretty good experience, especially compared to the pyramid. Now I'm actually curious real quick, how much experience would we need for one more level? 83,000, actually it's not that much. All things considered, considering how far we went earlier. So the reason I'm just kicking these enemies here rather than trying to run away is because a lot of the encounters in the Rift here are rather tough to run away from. And one of the tricks that other characters normally use is they attack with the chicken knife. The chicken knife gives you a 1 in 4 chance to automatically run away from combat, which is not so desirable against bosses, but, well, for regular enemy encounters which you don't plan to fight anyways, it is actually kind of convenient. Was Oracle done? Yes. If you'd like to see the straw poll, exclamation mark SSCC. We just have, what, 4 or 5 characters remaining that we haven't done yet. Those are the Freelancer, Mime, Samurai and Gladiator, you'd like to vote on which one you'd like to see next. Yes, we did do Oracle already. Worth noting that the highlight of the last part for the Cannoneer is missing. So yeah, I may want to redo that. It was one of the easier ones, to be fair. Either way, chests in this area here, most of them contain like a relatively simple item like a phoenix stone and an ether and a cottage. The bottom left chest contains an elixir. Since I already have 99, that's kind of pointless for me to pick up, but I figured might as well mention it. Mime solo? Yeah, I do believe you get the attack option with a mime, just kind of as a selectable ability, so it shouldn't be as bad as you may think it is. Probably. We'll see. Yeah, we have so much HP that these enemies hitting us would normally be dangerous. Well, to be fair, the monk did naturally already have a lot of HP. But it's not nearly as dangerous as it normally would be. So over there we have a chest with another elixir, if you want to pick that up. This chest coming up here is a drain sword, a knight-only sword type weapon. That, well, is kind of interesting to use, to say the least. Because it has 75% chance to miss, and scales off of magic power, which knights don't tend to have a whole lot. It's an interesting weapon, and you have to work quite a specific build in order to make it work. But technically it can work, let's put it that way. Alrighty, just keep moving at this point. But yeah, as mentioned before, I will be attempting to complete the rest of the game with the not super powered monk. But I kind of had that idea, it would be fun to kind of go into the complete other direction compared to other characters, where the rest of the game is kind of difficult because, well, defeating enemies can be, well, tricky because you might not have as much attack power, etc. But with our monk, because the attack power as well as attack multiplier both scale off of levels, each individual level is worth more. And also because normally in more casual playthroughs, like Forge of Fiestas for example, having a monk usually is nice in the early game, but because you don't tend to level up this ridiculously high, they tend to fall off pretty quickly, let's put it that way. But because today we have a super powered monk, we might be a bit more powerful than usual, let's put it this way. Because we hit enemies for 2000 damage from the back row, which halves our damage output effectively. Also, by the way, hard hit would normally confuse you, guaranteed if you were susceptible to confusion, but I still have the bone mail equipped, so, well, we are not susceptible to confusion. Plus, I'm going to face this next boss just keeping the bone mail equipped. There's not much of a reason for me to, well, not have it equipped, really. Alrighty, I would say, let's get this going. Actually curious, does it make a difference for me to get 3 more strength? Actually, I know it makes a difference. I'm just gonna get the bandana with plus 3 strength. So we have less physical defense, but our, well, offense is even better than before. Okay, let me introduce you to the first boss in the Rift. She's not terribly difficult even normally, but today she will be a complete pushover, because this is Kalotisteri. She is mostly annoying rather than dangerous. She has 18,000 HP, and she had 18,000 HP. Worth noting, our critical hit chance did not increase. We still have only 8% per attack. So, yeah, that was still pretty lucky to literally just once round her. kind of crazy, actually. Maybe I should have even used build up. Oh well. I'm not going to attack these guys because they counterattack with... Break? Wait, do they counterattack with Break? I remember getting petrified against these enemies here. Also, I'm going to... Wait, I already have an Angel Ring, don't I? I'm gonna pick it up anyways. Just in case. Because I'm trying to get as overpowered as I can at this run here now. Alrighty. So, upcoming right here, and that is just for demonstration purposes, I'm going to preemptively increase the death counter by 1, because we will die. And this is Omega. Omega is one of the super bosses, and let me tell you, he is so ridiculously fast that even without haste, he will effectively almost outpace us with haste boots. And he has ridiculously high physical defense. However, with our monk punches, with this high level, we will actually be able to punch through his defense even without critical hits. So that is one of the upsides. The downside is that he has a 95% physical evasion. So chances of actually hitting him, very, very, very tiny. So yeah, we also even get a preemptive strike. I was just trying to see how much damage we could possibly do. But yeah. Hey, Atomic Ray. Right, we still have the Bone Mail equipped, so that's double damage. And ignoring my physical defense. And also, every other turn, he casts Surge Beam. Surge Beam is 50% of your maximum health in damage. And yes, he literally casts it every other turn. So... you would need to literally heal very, very frequently against this guy. I was just kind of hoping to get a fluke chance to be able to critically, or well, just hit him with a regular attack even. Either way, welcome to the next regular boss. This is a panda. It doesn't look like a panda, but it is a panda. And the panda has... let's see, how much was it? 22,200 HP. His gimmick is, like Biblos, he will counterattack with armor 1 in 3 times, or, from the very beginning, counterattack with drain 1 in 3 times. So each one of the physical attacks I'm doing triggers at least 1 counterattack. His threat would normally slow you, but thanks to the Hermes sandals, we are immune to slow anyways. And now, because of armor, we only deal half damage. So less than ideal. Plus, as you can see, he does have a decent amount of evasion, so that doesn't help. Worth noting, I still have the Bone Mail equipped, and if he were to hit Drain, we would actually reverse the effect. Magic Hammer halves my MP, I don't use my MP anyways. Casting Fist costs 0 MP. And yes, we don't even use the Kaiser Knuckle, that is very true. So yeah, not a particularly difficult boss either, because we are kind of overpowered. Just a little bit. So the next boss, however, is in fact one that can, in theory, defeat us. It is entirely possible to lose to the next boss, so well, let's see how that's going to go. Also here, it might be more efficient to just knock out the enemies rather than trying to run away. These Avis dragons are neither Avis type birds, nor are they dragons, in terms of category, because there is a weapon that deals critical hit and extra damage against dragons, there is a weapon that deals critical hits and extra damage against Avis type enemies, and they categorize as neither of those. So yeah. So I'd like to try and run away from the ninjas. Ninjas have pretty high physical evasion and about 5000 HP, so even if I hit them once, I would need to hit both attacks in order to knock them out, so not that great of an encounter. So I guess if I were to use build-up, I would be able to hit them for double the damage, if I ever hit, that is. And slide away to victory. We're almost there. This is one of the areas with the highest encounter rate of any, well, set of enemies. And it's not even a particularly long area, or particularly dangerous for the most part. The danger comes in here. So inside here, if we get into a back attack with the wrong enemies, they could in theory also straight up kill us, because some of them can put us into critical HP, and the others will just hit us. So that would be less than ideal. We didn't get an encounter, and in the basement here there are no encounters, so we're fine. However, what we may not be so fine against is this guy here. I'm going to equip the strength armor for even more attack power here, because I may need to heal against this guy. So, this is Apocalypse. Normally he is way higher level than we are. Today this is the other way around, so he uses a lot of abilities that have a chance to hit. And because chance to hit is modified by level difference, we actually have better evasion than usual against his spells. Either way, he has almost 28,000 HP, so that's a lot. He does have a fair bit of physical and magic defense as well. Oh my goodness, really? He hit Dark Shock. Yeah, we are now level 48. So if we were level 48, this is how much damage we were to deal against him. He is pretty strong. Now he has Big Guard on top of it, which halves all damage we do, because it gives him armor, shell and float at the same time. Yeah, this is not a good fight here. And here he counterattacks with Revenge Attack. That's the question mark blue magic. And that Revenge Attack, well, deals damage equivalent to however much HP you're missing. So, in short, no matter what level you are, Apocalypse can still absolutely demolish you. That's just the nature of the beast. And oh boy, Apocalypse is a real beast, okay? How did we grind to 99? We are, well, 96 right now. We used the method in the pyramid, just kept the console active over 2 days. Held up on A, and that just kind of continuously gave us experience. So yeah, once again, to reiterate, I do have a save file from before we power leveled the monk, so I will be trying to, well, complete the monk challenge with the lower level character as well, rather than just the super powered one. But it's not going to be a priority quite yet. I will try that though. I just figured it would be fun to just completely over level because of how the damage scaling of the monk works. And since there's an easy trick to do so in the pyramid, where you just hold up and A in order to continuously get encounters, I figured that would be simple. Monks are among the best in World 1, they're really not that good in the end game. Or the mid game for that matter. But yes, I just over-leveled to a ridiculous degree, and this is why we are so strong. So was the grind without the timer going? Yes. It was. Which, to be fair, in the Berserker grind, we did add the number. In the Berserker grind, we did add the number of AFK grinding as well, and we actually even calculated how many hours it would add, if I'm not mistaken. But yeah, this timer is mainly for the regular powered monk. Rip monk being the fastest. Yeah, no. It's not. Not yet. Well, actually, even... Let's see real quick. Where's the ninja? Yeah, the ninja's actually already done. The monk's not gonna be the fastest either way. The ninja ended with a time of 12 hours and 25 minutes. How did you kill Sandworm? We leveled up to level, I don't know, 84 or so? By the way, this is the encounter that is really dangerous. If the Deathclaw hits me with, well, Deathclaw, I will be in critical HP, and they have almost the exact same speed as a Sword Dancer. So the Sword Dancer will attack right after Deathclaw, that puts me into critical HP, and I would die if they get a turn like that. Which is entirely possible, but then again, because of the level difference, the chance of resisting Deathclaw would have been pretty decent as well. Either way, strength armor, and just try to punch this guy. Hope that we don't get Dark Shocked in turn 1, because that is a huge problem for a monk. Like, it's pretty insane. One miss, 28,000 damage. Mind Blast. Mind Blast is a lot of damage, especially for, well, how Mind Blast normally doesn't deal that much damage. But I think we're doing quite fine. 2 more attacks and we should hopefully win, unless we get a critical hit. No crit. 1 more attack, hopefully does the trick. Level 4 quarter. Oh yeah, I forgot about this. Because we are level 96 specifically, our level is divisible by, well, 4. Well, it is more feasible on GBA where the circuit doesn't attack fake targets on the Sandworm, but I don't think anybody ever even theoretically completed the Solar Berserker against Neo X Death on GBA because you can't do the intelligence or magic power on the flow. Alrighty, so normally you would like to be floating against Catastrophe, and let me tell you, I predict that we will actually have a lot of deaths with the lower leveled monk against Catastrophe here. Because normally you would like to be floating against this guy, but as a monk you literally cannot get float as a solo character. You can with basically anybody else, well except Oracle. But yeah, this is Catastrophe, he has only 20,000 HP. And he likes to cast Earthshaker, which is 1188 damage, so it's a lot of damage to your entire party. But more importantly, he has a chance to petrify us. Well, I guess he doesn't. Not anymore anyways, because he is dead. But if he petrifies us, we are instantly dead, we have no protection against it. We do have high level in this case, so chances of resisting it are decent. But yeah. This is alright. Okay. By the way, I used an elixir just in the menu because I have so many anyways. So you're planning to do the non-power level monk after? After, yes, not today or in the next few days, because the next few days are going to be reserved for La Milana too. But yes, I do plan on going back to the regular level monk. I actually wanted to do the regular level monk before, as in over the course of yesterday and today. But because I had such a headache yesterday and today I woke up while super late and the stream is now really late, I decided to do the power level monk first and then we come back to the regular one later. Alrighty, welcome to the next boss. Yeah, we should knock Halicarnassus out. So this is Halicarnassus. Halicarnassus has, I think, 33,300 HP. Yeah, 33,333 HP. Halicarnassus is in fact 1 level higher than we are. So that's pretty crazy. Oh my god, that's almost 20,000 damage. The first turn is always a guaranteed turning us into a frog, so we have to undo this, because otherwise our attack power is way too low. Then afterwards, 1 more attack will do the trick. So Halicarnassus is not usually terribly dangerous or difficult, unless you get hit by the Holy, which will always occur in the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8th Every 8th turn, Halikarnaza uses Holy. And that Holy will effectively deal maximum damage, 9999. It would kill our monk too. But because we deal so much damage, not a big deal. Let's put it that way. Alrighty, and we're actually gonna take on Twintania the straightforward way for once. So, well, before we get to Twintania, I guess we get to these guys. I'm worried that Furies would survive, so just knocking them out one by one. Furies, if they are alone, I know they use pretty heavy, dangerous spells, so just knocking them out right away is the safer way to go about it. That Holy will leave a hole where you were and will leave you holy. Ha! Alright. Alrighty, welcome to Twintania. Twintania has 50,000 HP, so that's a lot to say the least. And the gimmick about Twintania is that it will counterattack. Specifically, it will counterattack physical attacks with Tidal Wave, 1 in 3 times. So that's gonna be 2 chances to counterattack us. Or it will use Mega Flare as a reaction to magic. So either way, attacking Twintania is pretty dangerous for characters that don't have particularly much HP. Holy cow. But in our case, we don't have to worry about that. Normally the easy way of taking care of Twintania is to just wait until it gets a certain amount of turns. There it actually transforms into a weaker type of monster that is susceptible to literally every status effect, including instant death type attacks. So a lot of characters could, like, let's say, use the Assassin Dagger and just hope for the 1 in 4 instant death proc once it is in turn, well, in phase 2. But with our little monk here, we have pretty much no problem about this. Twintania is weak to 8k monk fists. Yep, hand magic. We didn't even get a counterattack, that's kind of lucky actually. So, you know what? No, I'm just gonna go back. I need to save before we encounter Necrophobe, because Necrophobe is gonna be another boss that, kind of like Apocalypse earlier, does have a pretty decent chance to effectively straight up kill us. So I'd rather not have that happen, honestly. Monk is powerful, only an over-leveled monk. We will see how much our other monk is going to struggle once we get back to it. It might have been worth doing red before the save, maybe. I'm hoping it doesn't have 2-minute resets against Necrophobe. We'll see. I'm not going to use the Earth or Golem magic lamp in case you're curious. I hope to just defeat him straight up. You were doing just fine with that level 53 monk. Yeah, I think level 53 monk is going to do quite alright. It's not gonna be as easy as other characters, but I think it's going to be quite okay. But yeah. Oh, this is not good. Alright, never mind, we're fine. I was worried about the Fury in the back row surviving alone. And Furies, if they are alone, they will cast various things like Meteor. Which, to be fair, we will survive a Meteor with this amount of HP. But I think they also have instant death spells like Doom. And I do not have preparation for Doom. These Iron Giants are worth a lot of experience, 10,000 each. So, if we wanted to get one more level, that might be an interesting place to do that in. If RNG doesn't screw you, I bet level 50-ish monk will beat the game. No sweat. Very possible, because even with a level 50 monk, we do have enough maximum HP. So it's not gonna be that big of a problem in that respect. And having enough maximum HP is in fact one of the bigger concerns, let's put it this way. I'm not gonna attack King Behemoths. They have some nasty counterattacks, although I think their counterattacks are mostly against the magic. I don't really remember whether it is against physical attacks. I mean, we can try. Let's see. If they survive, I guess. They do not survive a build-up attack. Enemies in this area here specifically do not give you any experience. They only give you money and ability points. Hey, a rare drop double lance. Also here we have Greg, or Gilgamesh I guess. Gilgamesh, you only need to deal, what, like 8,000 damage to him? And then he recognizes, oh, you're not a monster, even though I just hit him like one. Mark. And, well, the cutscene will eventually resolve. Is it possible to kill Greg here? You know, I don't even know. Let's see. What level does Gilgamesh have here? Gilgamesh... Gilgamesh in the Exxon has 37,000 HP total. It is in theory possible to kill him in terms of depleting his HP. I don't know whether that practically works, but in theory, yes. He's 67. No, he's level 15. Unless this list is wrong here, she should be level 59. Either way, it's just kind of a lengthy-ish cutscene, which is why I was considering defeating Greg and then going back to save. But I think we're gonna be fine. By the way, the chests I'm skipping here, most of them contain pinwheels or Huma shurikens, depending on translation, and those are ridiculously powerful ninja throwing weapons. The chest on the right of us just now is one that contains an elixir. I still have 97 elixirs, I don't really care about getting them. So I'm just gonna go straight forward. The end here. Honestly, the end here is actually a lot quicker than I anticipated it would be. Like I figured, even with that, well, I guess we haven't won yet. Would be interesting if killing Greg here stops him from helping his Necro. That would be interesting, I do agree. I wonder how he grinds out those 8 levels so fast. Well, very, very diligently, I think. Metal King Slimes. Yes. Considering he has an attack that always deals some damage, well, at least in the previous encounter, I suppose, Gilgamesh would always be able to deal some damage, and the problem about Metal Slimes and Metal King Slimes is that it is difficult to deal damage to them, right? I think that's how it worked. Also, I figured it might be faster to defeat these guys rather than run away. Welcome to you, Hoppy. How are you doing today? 9,999,000 HP. That's a lot of HP. You're good? I'm glad to hear that. So these things, by the way, have 4 HP, but they do have a bit of evasion. You prefer no cores over Metal Slimes. I see. Is this the final solo challenge run? No. We have a few more in queue, specifically 4. We have Mime, Samurai, Gladiator, and Freelancer. I want to do Mime before Freelancer, which is why my Freelancer is not on the list. And potentially I will want to redo Cannoneer, because the last part of the highlight is missing. What's the class for the What class won the poll for the next solo run? None yet. You can still vote. Here at the bottom of this entire, well, wall of text, I guess, there's a straw poll that you can still vote on. I don't know what the result is yet. Alrighty. I'm considering... No, we can't use a bone mail. Hang on. Alright. I'm gonna get into an encounter with the bone mail before I do this here. Because one of the lesser known things, I guess, about Necrophobe is that he has an instant death attack. Now, let me explain what I just did, because, as I said, I want to kind of be as overpowered as possible, and this is part of it. So, what I just did is I equipped the bone mail, went into an encounter, and completed the encounter in whatever means possible or, well, useful. In this case, I just ran away. Now, the game remembers that I have the immunities from the bone mail equipment, which means I'm immune to a number of status effects like aging and instant death and poison and darkness and confusion and berserk. I think those are the ones. Either way, unequipping the bone mail here in the menu, the game doesn't realize that it should remove the immunities to these status effects in the next battle, and I will still have them for one more battle. So right now, the big important part is I'm immune to instant death. And one of the lesser evils, I guess, is Necrophobe can instantly kill you by the means of, well, Doom. He casts the Doom spell, which is instant death. With the bone mail, we would be immune to it, because we are undead. Without the bone mail, we are immune to it now because we have the immunity to the instant death status effect, which is useful. So, yeah. What else? Nothing else really, let's go. Aside from that, Necrophobe is really dangerous for another reason too. So the barriers normally would be a bit of a problem to any character who does not have particularly much maximum HP or does not have a quick way of dealing with them. They have 8,800 HP each, and once they get their turn, they will cast Holy or Flare on one of their own. What this does is it casts into their own wall, which reflects spells, over to us, and it will effectively, well, just deal about 1,000 and some change damage to you as a character. As a solo character, that means approximately 4,000 damage. It is possible to get in between the barriers that do that, although it is by no means guaranteed. So, yeah, you often want to defeat at least one barrier and have 3,000 and some, like 3,300 HP on the solo character. We have a lot more than that amount of HP, so we are actually pretty fine on that end, to say the least. Plus, we do kill the barriers pretty quickly, so that helps quite a lot as well. So what I'm gonna do now is I'm gonna wait until the barrier attacks. Then I'm going to use an elixir to heal up to full before phase 2. So, phase 2. We could easily die, let's put it this way. This is why I wanted to go back to a save. Necrophobe always gets 2 turns. And one of his classic combos is he can put us into critical HP and then physically attack us right after. That's just the nature of what he can do. Also, I need to wait until he starts his dialogue. Plus, he could actually blind me here, but because of the bone mail immunity carryover, I'm immune to blind status. So he has 34,044 HP. So I'm trying to defeat him as quick as possible. Worth noting is he's literally vulnerable to every single element. He also hits like a truck, as you can see. Even with my ridiculous HP, that is still kind of spooky. Plus I have HP leak status right now, so even if... Yeah, alright. Counter attack please. Good. HP leak status could already kill me if he uses the hurricane on me and hits. Alright, no hurricane so far, we're getting lucky here. And I think that might be it. Oh! I just straight up killed him. So Greg didn't even have to save us. No cutscene. So, yeah, actually, I forgot about that part. That could happen too. Yeah, that's nice. Alright. Let me explain real quick. Normally, what happens is, if you defeated Gilgamesh in Exdeath Castle in the World 2, which is an optional battle, he will appear here in the Void, otherwise he will not. And if he appeared here in the Void, he will actually, well, then help you out against Necrophobe. The Necrophobe actually has a total of 44,440 or so HP. However, you only need to deal 34,000 damage and some change in order to defeat him. Then Gilgamesh shows up in the cutscene, heroically sacrifices himself in order to protect you. That is actually something that triggers as an attack once Necrophobe is below that threshold of HP. But because we killed him with a counter-attack, that never triggered. So we just saved Gilgamesh. So, yeah. Yeah, either way, as mentioned before, it is entirely possible to lose. It is entirely possible to lose. Because he can use Hurricane and then immediately physically attack you. Which Hurricane, by the way, is 9 HP or less remaining. And any physical attack after that will kill me, because I have no physical evasion either way. So yeah, we've gotten pretty lucky to say the least. That was super lucky overall. Let me actually see what the chances were that he only ever physically attacks us. Let's see. So, alrighty. In his first attack, he has a 1 in 3 chance to use Hurricane in his first attack. Or, well, first round of... well, whatever. 1 in 3 chance. In fact, he has a 1 in 3 chance to use Hurricane every other turn. Since he got, I think, 3 turns, he had 2 times a 1 in 3 chance to use Hurricane and just kind of knock us out. Once again, we do have a chance to resist the Hurricane, we are really high level. But chances are not great, it still hits us like 80% of the time. Probably. I don't know what the numbers are. Either way, the next turn, which he actually didn't get to, would have been a 1 in 3 chance to cast Doom, but, well, we are immune. And, in fact, this is going to be what I will be doing here as well against Neo Exdeath. I'm actually going to equip Bone Mail to be immune to aging status and all these kinds of shenanigans, as well as instant death, etc. And I'm going to equip the Angel Wing, which additionally gives him immunity to zombie status. And then I will equip the other item equipment pieces before the boss instead. This is back when special endings weren't a thing. Well... well, I mean, this is kind of an interesting thing to mention here, because there are special endings, but depending on which characters are actually knocked out or not knocked out at the end of the game. Because the ones that are knocked out at the end of the game, when you defeat Neo Exdeath, will get sucked into the void, and the other ones will actually, well, be sad that their friends are gone. Punch! Punch! Good ending incoming. Aw. Kaneki, thank you so much for 47 months. That's a crazy long time. With Prime too, or well, Prime Gaming now. Welcome back, and I'm glad you enjoy your stay. I hope you're doing well. By the way, we go back off and save after this cutscene, because once again, it's entirely possible to just straight up die against this final guy here. And Eldrest, thank you. Holy cow, thank you so much for lurking, I suppose, for 63 months. That's a crazy long time, holy cow. Welcome back, I'm glad you enjoy your stay. Thank you so much. Star Ocean's big name for multiple endings in 1996. Was there any other game? Oh yeah, Chrono Trigger, I suppose, is a good point. But yeah, real quick to reiterate for anybody who might have just recently joined, this is the power leveled monk that we power leveled in the pyramid over the course of the literal last 2 days, which is why the in-game timer is a lot longer than the previous one. And I will be attempting to finish the game with the monk as a regular level as well. Just kind of, we are level 53 on the monk file without the power grind, and that is going to be what I will be doing. However, I wanted to really finish the game today, so I figured the best chance I have is just using the power level monk first, which I kind of wanted to do the other way around, but hey, here we are. So yeah, however, tomorrow we will, well, me and Velhard and me, I think that's the, whatever. Velhard and me will start the second playthrough of La Mulana 2, and they will probably take a few days. So, because I wanted to get the Monk Solo Challenge run done before that, I figured let's just use the power level the Monk right here instead. So, well, here we are. Alrighty. I need to get into an encounter. And first of all, I want to use my magic lamp. So once again, the magic lamp is an item that casts the highest level summon and then just kind of cycles through the next strongest and the next strongest. And the third summon of the magic lamp is Odin, which instantly kills any enemy that is not immune to heavy attacks. As in, if it has the heavy status flag, it will be immune to whatever we throw at it. In short. However, there is one part of the final boss fight that is not immune to the, well, heavy flag, and that is exactly what I will be taking advantage of. I think this should, yeah, that's certainly should just knock him out here. Alrighty. So, we have our Angel Ring equipped, we have our Bone Mail equipped, which means we have the immunities from these items now. And I'm also going to equip the Strength Armor for more attack power, and of course, the Running Shoes, because there's effectively no other item that is as good as the Running Shoes by itself with a solo monk. You can argue that the Kaiser Knuckles are really good, and they are, but not as a solo monk, unfortunately. If we have some external source of getting haste on our character, you can argue to use the Kaiser Knuckles in boss fights, but beyond that, Hermes handles are just too good. Either way, oh no. I'm actually going to reset here, because it does save the carryover from the immunities. I don't want to get another encounter here. So this does not count as a death, because it's just for convenience, in case you're curious. Alrighty, welcome to the final boss fight here. This was honestly, I figured it would be fast, but this is a bit faster than I anticipated it would be. Then again, it is kind of late already today, isn't it? Oh well, this is fine. Alrighty, welcome to the final boss encounter, X-Death. So X-Death here has 49,001 HP in phase 1. This is phase 1 right here. And he hits hard, he hits like a truck. But so do we in this case, let's put it that way. So in his first turn phase, when he starts, he has a 1 in 3 chance to do nothing, 1 in 3 chance to do a physical attack, and 1 in 3 chance to cast White Hole. White Hole is an ability that inflicts petrification and death to your character. We have the Bone Mail effect, so we are immune to instant death. Now he's in phase 2, where he has a 1 in 3 chance to cast Flare or Holy each, in his first turn in phase 2, excuse me. That is when he, well, after we deal 19,000 damage. Once we deal 39,000 damage, he will go into the next phase. This might kill us. Yep, we are dead, I think. So that was pretty unlucky, because that critical hit really messed up things. Oh well. So once he is below 10,000 HP remaining, he has a 1 in 3 chance to cast Meteor, and a 1 in 3 chance to cast... to do a physical attack, and a 1 in 3 chance to do nothing. And, well... we got the... ugly one, let's put it this way. Doesn't this reset the equipment glitch? No, because I saved with the equipment glitch, and for some reason it also saves that part as well. Either way, yeah, welcome to XDev. Where we just punch him. Punch, or try to anyways, I suppose. Also, normally I keep very precise track of how much damage I deal in order to try and calculate ahead on what to do, but in this case, I think we are mostly fine. Maybe. I'm gonna heal after the next turn from XDev here, whatever he does. Just a physical attack. Alright, we should be fine even for his final thing. Let's use build up to push him through phase 1, hopefully a little bit more efficiently. Alrighty, and welcome to phase 2. Phase 2 is split into 4 different parts. Generally speaking, those are the physical part, the Almagest part, the Grand Cross part, and the magic casting part. Magic is on the far left, has 60,000 HP total, however, that is the one we can instantly kill with the 3rd charge of the magic lamp, so that's what we do at the very beginning here. Then, the top right part is the one that is physical in nature and has 50,000 HP total. So the physical part is going to do, well, exactly what it suggests. It will attack us physically. Normally it is a huge concern because it does deal a lot of damage, it is quite dangerous, but with our maximum HP and chances to counterattack, it might not be nearly as bad. But then again, the counterattack itself can be a concern, because what we will want to do is we want to kill the Grand Cross part first, which is the top left center part, which has 5,000 HP. The Grand Cross part is dangerous because once it drops below certain HP thresholds, or just kind of in general, it has a pretty high chance of instantly killing us with the, well, Grand Cross ability. The Grand Cross ability, also insta-kill the magic part here, the Grand Cross ability inflicts one of the 19 different possible status effects, among other things, petrification, and I think we're immune to most of the other bad ones. When he shakes like this, the bottom right part, Almagest, is about to cast, well, Almagest, which again would normally be a huge concern, because Almagest does in fact deal a lot of damage to your entire party. It's about 1,600 and some change damage. However, because we have so much maximum HP, Almagest is basically not much of a concern. The biggest concern is once we drop below, well, a certain threshold of HP for us, where the Almagest plus the other thing could in fact just straight up kill us. Also, there's a counterattack, didn't hit. We will probably get at least one Grand Cross. We'll see. There it is. It is technically possible to skip the Grand Cross, but I think unless you're a ninja or samurai with a ton of money, that might be rather difficult. Alright, it looks like it didn't affect us, which means, well, we probably didn't do anything, so that's good. But it's still the most dangerous part. Let's knock it out. If I didn't have the Angel Ring or the Bone Mail immunities, it would have a significantly higher chance to instantly kill us with Zombie and Berserk, and even Confusion would effectively have a really high chance to straight up kill us. 2,800. Monk is not terribly counterattack heavy here. That is pretty fine. Alrighty, Grand Cross down. Now it's just the Almagest and the physical part remaining. And I'm going to wait until the next part moves and then we just heal. From here on out, as long as I don't make any mistakes, we will win. Because the most dangerous thing that can happen is the Grand Cross part and the physical part attacking at the same time, which they did just now, but that's why I waited. 4152. And in case you're curious, the reason I pause is because I'm keeping track exactly how much damage we deal so far. So let's go for the Almagest part right here. This spell doesn't do anything. Alright. The Almagest part also has 55,000 HP. So let's see how close we can get to that. No counterattack. 8 and 64. Alrighty. Now. Okay, one more build up on the Almagest part will put it into very close territory of getting knocked out. 4488, and then the physical part has about 37,000 HP remaining. 8496, hopefully we don't miss the second attack. Alright, 8976, good. Alright, so the reason why I'm keeping so meticulous track of the individual parts is because if there's only one part remaining, they will just kind of blast you with their strongest attacks. Oh wow, they didn't even give me an opportunity to go in between that. That was lucky, I guess. But yeah, they will blast me with their strongest attacks that they effectively have. Let's use build up on the physical part. Oh, don't kill it here. Don't counter. Oh, it countered. Oh no. Okay, we missed once. That's kind of good, actually. It's actually... So the physical part is just above 11,744 HP remaining. And I'm a little bit spooked on attacking now. Because normally what you want to do is you want to use the fourth chart or the magic lamp to knock out the last two parts at the same time. But the monk has 0 magic power. So we would deal like 500 damage, so it's... yeah, kind of rough. Actually, what I'm gonna do instead is I'm going to wait until the physical part hits me, and I counterattack it into submission. 3-9 something? 4-3... Oh! Oh, I must have miscounted because that was not as much HP. I must have mistyped somewhere. Yeah, the physical part is dead. Now, we just kill the Almagest part, and we win. Boom! Alrighty. That was easy. Like, actually, that was easy. And it will not nearly be as easy once we do the monk that is not super powered. But I think we will have a good chance of doing this anyways. But yeah, if you ever try to do a solo character challenge run, if you just power level in the pyramid, you will likely have little trouble to finish the rest of the game. Almost no matter which character it is. Almost. There might be some exceptions with like Geomancer and stuff like that. This was Super Saiyan Monk. Yeah, that was way faster than I anticipated it would be. Let's see, when did I start the time? We're at... yeah, that was almost exactly an hour since I started. Huh. This was overall pretty fast. However, here's the thing. This number here, the timer, does not include the grind. Which I think is kind of an important thing to note. While it wasn't time I invested into the game, it was time that the game was running, and I think that should account for at least something. So, I will be calculating and putting the final number into the counter. Actually, you know what? I'm just gonna flat out add like 48 hours to the counter. I think, for this one. And I'm going to separate death counts of monk with power level and monk without power level. So we're gonna have 2 separate monk columns, I think. I think that's how I'm gonna do it in the spreadsheet. Let me actually just show you, everybody. Yes, there is a big auto grind in the pyramid where you hold up and A against the slope, and as long as you have the regeneration ring equipped, you will effectively win sooner rather than later. That's the short version. Alrighty, let me switch over to the thing. So, as a heads up, before I continue blabbering on here, I will be doing the monk that is not power leveled later. I'm not sure whether I will want to gain some levels anyways. We will figure it out as we go. But for now, this is the monk solo challenge, and as thus, we are going to start the raffle for the next solo challenge. So make sure to vote on the straw poll that I'm gonna post in chat right here again, which challenge you would like to see next, and if you'd like to join the raffle, what you can win in the raffle, quote unquote, is you can tell me whether I should use Butts or Fairies as the main character for the next solo challenge. You can tell me what the Butts' name is, that's the second winner, and the third winner is going to determine which color of the background window we have. So if you'd like to join that raffle and have a chance to tell me which one of the characters I should choose, !join in chat now. Alrighty, I'm gonna try and aim to do the other part of the not power leveled monk. Probably on Monday. I think that's gonna be a goal here. Excuse me. Alrighty, so that was 1438.08. Plus actually plus 4800. Ah, that doesn't work. Alright, fair enough. And thank you. Also, welcome to you, Regadactylus. I saw you earlier join, but sorry, I kinda forgot. Either way, !join for raffle. The first winner will tell me whether we choose Butts or Fairies. The second one will tell us, well, the other stuff. Alrighty, let me actually finally switch over to the planning phase here, where we have our nice little spreadsheet. So let's go to death counts, where we also keep track of time. I probably should, you know what, I'm gonna rename this to statistics. Because it is statistics. So, what we also did is we did the true Atmos solo challenge, so that is a thing to note. And aside from that, we haven't done the rest of the monk challenge yet, starting from Kalatisteri. Wait, that doesn't make sense. Why is it 45 exactly? Did I not do a calculation thingy? That's weird. Alrighty, this should be mostly fine, I think. Alrighty, we have 36 deaths with the power-leveled monk, which is actually on the lower end of things. Which, well, to be fair, if you prepare as a monk and don't just go for low percentage probabilities or chances, it is going to be, well, reasonably quick to complete it. We did have 1 death against 3x death, and we had 1 death against Apocalypse in the end, so that makes sense. Also, Colotis theory? Wait, that doesn't. Right? Didn't die to Colotis theory? Oh yeah, that's the Omega here. It's a bit small on my screen, unfortunately, so I can't really tell. What's the join thing about? If you join, you can enter the raffle. Then I'm going to randomly pick a winner. The first winner is going to tell me whether we choose Butts or Fairies for our next solo adventure. The second one will tell us what the name of Butts is going to be. And the third winner is going to tell us which background color of the window we will have. So exclamation mark join if you'd like to join the raffle. We will complete the raffle at the end, once the end flashes up on screen. Alrighty, and with this, we kind of mostly finished the monk. I'm actually not going to remove it from in progress yet. Well, I need to rearrange this entire thing anyways. Because this doesn't... You know what, I'm just gonna do it. By the way, you still have time to vote for which solo class you'd like to see next. That is the straw poll link in chat. Here, copy link address. There we go. So this, the straw poll in chat right now is for which character you would like to see next. So yeah, which character? I don't know. You're gonna tell me. Which name we have for Butts? Wark did an excellent job, to say the least, so hooray for Wark. Which job and which color? So yeah, you do still have like 10 minutes or so, maybe even 15. It's a really lengthy outro. So, monk. So now complete. I'm gonna leave it yellow in the background, because we haven't done the regular leveled monk yet, and I wanna do that before I claim it to be complete. Or at least attempt it. If it turns out that it's just a really low chance with the current level that we have, well, we'll see, we'll see. Actually, it should be like this. That way you see... Yeah, this is more efficient for you. Alrighty, let me actually briefly make the recap on the Solo Monk playthrough. So, we had 2 random encounter deaths where I think I was largely just not... I don't really remember them, to be honest. I think one was unlucky, the other one was me just being careless. We had 1 death against Carbos, which... I dare to say we actually were favored to win against Carbos for once, because we only needed like 2 or 3 attacks. So, 1 death, pretty good. So, the early game with the Monk is really, really good. You have a lot of maximum HP really early on, as well as, especially early on, a lot of attack power compared to most weapons. Then we didn't have any deaths until Iron Claw. And that was entirely on my own fault as well, because Iron Claw, I accidentally kicked the wolves because I was just in the habit of kicking everything at that point. And then Iron Claw decided to just use Death Claw, which paralyzes and puts us into critical HP and just hits us afterwards. So that was entirely my own fault, completely avoidable. Then we had 1 death against Ifrit, which was, well, somewhat expected. However, 0 deaths against Biblos was entirely unexpected. He did not counterattack with armor once, if I'm not mistaken, and I feel like we've gotten really, really lucky on Biblos, so pretty good. We had 1 death against Greyclaw, that's just somewhat expected, I suppose. 15 deaths against the rocket launcher, which I think is by far the most deaths of any encounter. But at the same time, I like excluding those from the totals to an extent, because let's put it this way, that's just kind of a huge RNG factor, and if the class literally doesn't have a way to deal with the rockets, then it's kind of awkward. Do you just hope for flame launchers, and how quick you get them, it's just not interesting as a statistic. So, whatever. Then the next deaths were against Puroboros. We were, I think, favored in winning against them, so 2 deaths seems reasonable overall. Then we had 1 death against Gilgamesh in the boat, that's just the nature of the beast. However, we had 1 death against 7 deaths against Gilgamesh in Exdef's castle, which is a lot more than Exdef himself. We were high enough leveled that we had a decent chance of winning, but the problem was that, of course, Gilgamesh is a huge troll, and halving our current level as a monk is so incredibly detrimental that there's almost no way of winning once that happened, and it happened over and over again. Either way, then we arrived at Exdef. Exdef himself was actually, I figured it wouldn't be too difficult, but I did not expect to win the first time we got past his turn 1. So I figured there would be a few more deaths involved in that. But hey, a properly leveled monk can hit like a truck, and seems like to be just as fast as the one he hits like. Either way, the rest we only did with the power leveled monk, as indicated by the power. We will do the rest of it, or try to, with the regular leveled monk some other time, but as mentioned before, the next few days are gonna be dedicated to La Mulana 2, replaying it alongside Velhart, and I'm really looking forward to that. I hoped to do the regular monk before that, but because of my headache yesterday, I couldn't really do much. There was just no stream. But yeah, overall, I dare to say, the monk... I expected the monk to be more difficult. But then again, I think a large portion of why the monk ended up being not as difficult as I kind of expected it to be is over the course of now 22 completed solo challenges, well, 21. Over the course of the solo challenges I've done, I've learned to plan ahead and figure out things ahead of time and try to hit certain thresholds that I think are reasonable. I have experience now as in how much HP and damage I approximately want to have in order to have a fair chance. I have created entire calculators and figured out, well, numbers with a lot of the characters in order to try and figure out the thresholds that I need or would want to hit that probably gives me pretty solid odds, if not even stuff in my favor. Plus, I tend to think a bit further ahead than I did before too, so I think the monk especially benefits from that kind of thing. Because while I still wouldn't consider it easy as a monk, knowing what your level thresholds are and just taking advantage of them is kind of a huge deal right there. So yeah, this was the solo character challenge run with the monk. Part 1. Part 2 will eventually follow without the power leveling. And we still have a few minutes in the ending credits here. Once again, if you'd like to have a chance to tell me whether I should choose Butts or Ferris as the main character, you'd like to have a chance to name the character, or if you'd like to have a chance to determine the background color of the windows, write !join in chat to join that raffle. And last but not least, make sure to, well, tell me what you would like to see in the straw poll. As the next solo challenge that is. Currently it looks like it is kinda close between the characters. Best level for monk is 97, right? Prime number? I don't really think the prime number largely matters, unless you specifically try to take on Shinryu. You know, I wonder whether we could have defeated Shinryu here. I didn't even consider that. I would guess probably still not. But Could be a consideration for next time we do stuff. Alrighty. The vote closes, by the way, before I determine the winners of the raffle, so if you would like to determine bears or butts based on which character sprite you like better, then you can do that, just as a heads up. I really like that music. Rip Galef and Lena. Yeah, the reason why we don't, why I don't offer the choice between Galef and Lena is because Butts is the obvious choice. He is there for almost all boss fights. But Ferris is only missing for one more boss fight that is largely inconsequential. That is Antlion. And because it's literally right after XDF at the end of World 2, Antlion is more annoying. Like, it technically has a chance to kill you even then, but it's not generally going to be difficult at all. But yeah, that's the main reason why I choose to have only Butts and Ferris as the main characters, because Lena is missing for the entire beginning of World 3, and Galef is missing for the entire end of World 1. So choosing either of those would be a bit awkward, because there's a number of interesting things to do in those sections. It's not like you can't do these sections with low-level characters, you absolutely can. It's just especially not being able to do the mini-bosses at the meteors. On some chops it is quite challenging, so yeah, that would be less than ideal. Galef and Lena got the spotlight in the 2-character challenge when Yaga played along with the Final Fantasy Fiesta Marathon. Yeah, you could say that. I mean, that was the main reason why I picked those two, because they never get a chance for solo characters. It was weird watching me play Final Fantasy V with more than one character. Maybe. Honestly, so here's the thing. Initially, I wanted to add a little bit of an additional challenge to the Final Fantasy Fiesta rule set run, with only using 2 characters. But ultimately, my experience helps me with less characters more than it does with an entire party full of characters. And having 2 decently high-leveled characters certainly carried a lot. Plus, I didn't have to do nearly as much chop switching and customization and trying to, well, figure out 4 characters. Effectively, it was much easier on my brain only using 2 characters, rather than a full party of 4. Alrighty. I mean, 2 characters is pretty easy in comparison, absolutely. One thing is worth noting is that I was not allowed to look up stuff during the 2-character challenge run, or well, the Final Fantasy Fiesta run, because that's one of its rules. You don't look up stuff, and you also don't get help from chat in that specific instance. So I feel like I may have missed a lot of interesting opportunities for doing certain things. I mean, not even about speed, like literally just stuff that I think is interesting, just because I didn't remember them. How many deaths was this? 34? 36. Actually, I forgot to update that in the statistics. Lennox's dagger against Biblos, challenge invalidated. Yeah, not quite. It was a prop dagger, of course. And but true to his ability, just punches X-Def only once, because in the end it would be a waste of energy to punch him more than once, I guess. Alrighty, last opportunity to exclamation mark join the raffle if you'd like to determine whether we choose butts or fairies, the name of butts, or the color of the background window, as well as last opportunity to vote on which character you'd like to see as the next challenge. So the straw poll link is in chat for one more time. By the way, if you're the first winner and want to tell us the name instead, or the color, let me know. Because I think we can arrange stuff. Probably. Alrighty, the end. And at this point, let me switch over and see what the statistics are. With 28 votes, the winner is the Mime. So our next solo character challenge run is going to be the Mime. We don't know the character yet, but it is certainly going to be an interesting run. I don't really know how difficult it is going to be yet. I just know that I will probably just want to calculate ahead how many staves I need in order to break, well, the entirety of World 2 effectively, and how reasonable that's going to be. We will see. So everybody, thank you so much for voting. I do greatly appreciate that. Let's get to the raffle and see who is going to win. So the first winner who can determine whether we choose butts or fairies is going to be Jing Kirby. So Jing Kirby, if you'd like to tell us whether we choose butts or fairies, feel free to do so. Then the next winner is going to be for the name of butts, Violakar. By the way, keep in mind we don't have that many characters available, so it needs to be a relatively short name. I don't actually know how many characters we have, to be completely honest. Either way, Violakar, tell us the name. And last but not least, the background color for the window is going to be PMA04SNB. Alrighty. So once you have made your choices about what do you like to have, let me know so we can enter it into the thingy for, well, whenever we start the next one. Yes, yours is the color, PMS. That is perfectly fine, Varlokar. Alrighty, the character name for Butts is going to be Varlo. Welcome to the team. Tic-tac-throw, thank you. Can we go with Ferris? Yes, alrighty. Gene Kirby chooses Ferris. Thank you so much for participating. I really appreciate that. And if I missed a color, sorry about that, I will check the chat in just a second. But tic-tac-throw, thank you so much for 19 months of support. That's quite a long time already. Welcome back. I'm glad you enjoy your stay. Hope you're doing well. Similar to Ferris robes. Let's see, what is Ferris robes? Like I assume for the mime character. Let me actually switch back over here real quick. So Ferris robes would be like yellow or green. Keep in mind, I don't want it to be too bright of a color because that hurts the eyes and that makes it difficult to read. But I guess it would be like a... I guess the inside is green? If you don't know yet or have a specific idea, or even a hex code if you'd like to give me that, I can try to adjust to that. You don't have to specifically specify it now, like you can just tell me later what exactly you have in mind, if you have something. Gold color or green? Okay, we're gonna try gold first, and let's see whether we can make it work that it looks nice. And if not, I'm just gonna go with green, trying to adjust to the cape. Alrighty. Thank you so much for participating, everybody. Once again, a bit of a shorter stream because my sleep schedule is a complete mess. I'm going to try and go to bed super early today, hoping that I'm gonna be awake for tomorrow's La Mulana too. But yeah, everybody, thank you so much for watching, for listening and for lurking. I hope you enjoyed your stay, I hope you enjoyed being around, and well, hopefully until next time, take care and have a good night. I don't know, I just love the ending music and this ending screen, honestly. Like, it's so simple, but it always reminds me of effectively the time where I got hooked into speedrunning thanks to... I think it was SGDQ 2012, 2013, somewhere along those lines, where I've been, well, a fan of them ever since. Good night.